I want you to talk about how you learned German because it's really a fascinating story. So, what can you tell us about that? I want the audience to really know how you did it. It's really cool.
All right, so um, uh, I started learning German. So I would have been, I was in grade 8, so I guess 14. Yeah, so my aunt gave me a couple of her old German books to try and learn from, and I still had no idea what I was doing. So I dove right into the grammar. I tried to learn lists of phrases out of context. All these things make me cringe when I think back to them. Like all grammar, no practice with native speakers, lists of words, no input, no YouTube videos, no well Netflix wasn't as popular back then yet, but like just grammar. And then so I ended up burning out and giving up. Then I tried again, same thing. And then that's around the time that the principal was like, if you learn Spanish, it'll help. So I learned Spanish to be able to learn German. And then the second time around, um, I had Spanish under my belt, and my French had also improved a little bit. So I felt more experienced, and I felt more prepared to take German on for the third time. It might have been the fourth time. I think I might have tried and failed 3 times, but I'm pretty sure it was two. But anyway, so for Christmas, a lot of people wanted like video games and like stuff like that. I wanted this one very specific German course, so my mom got me that for Christmas. I was super excited. She got me the German course and the Italian one, but I decided to just do German first. So what I would do is I would learn words and phrases, but in context this time and with audio, so I was actually at least moderately correctly. And then I used to play a lot of Xbox, so there was a lot of Germans that would play Call of Duty 2 specifically. So I would purposely play Call of Duty 2 around the time that the Germans would be available, and then after each game, I'd check the gamer tags to see like which gamer tag said Germany, and I'd message everyone. So I messaged a bunch of people. One guy got back, so we started playing together, and he wanted to learn English. So he'd respond to me in English, and I'd respond in German. And so how it would work is we'd play together, and then I do my best to speak. Like I spoke very badly at the beginning, but I tried to learn like how a baby learns language. Just trial and error. As long as the message was being conveyed correctly, then that's all that mattered. And then as time went on, he introduced me to more of his friends because they would all play after school. So we'd all play together, and he had one friend who didn't speak any English at all. So we'd have to speak German together. So that really forced me to really push my boundaries. And then so I just kept repeating the process. So I'd come home from high school, I'd hop on Xbox, I'd play with them and speak with them, and then after that they'd go to bed. Then I'd go back to as Moses likes to put it, I'd go back to the barracks. I'd start learning more words and phrases again. The next day I'd get right back in there, using the new words and phrases again in speech. And then I just keep repeating the process, and I ended up creating my own immersion in my basement. All my friends would like they kind of like we just like they tease me and stuff, like just like I had the joke, but uh, it worked pretty well. So like I didn't have to actually go to Germany. I just created the immersion environment in my basement. And I'm not gonna lie, I played quite a bit back then. So I'm getting
Lots
quite
of
a few
immersion.
hours of practice. Yeah. So um yeah. So that's how that went. And then after a while, I ended up kind of getting bored of German. This was like a couple years down the road, so I kind of dropped it and I started learning Chinese instead. And then I still had German in the back of my mind because I would play Xbox every single day. I would listen to tons of German music. I would watch whatever German shows I could find on YouTube and stuff at the time, German YouTubers. So there was quite a bit of like I had quite a bit of input. And then I dropped it for a bit, so I started to get very rusty. And then we had quite a few German like meetups in Toronto and stuff. So I would go and check out these meetups. It was predominantly Germans that were in Canada looking for other Germans to hang out with, and just hang out with other people from back home and stuff. So I'd go to those. They were super welcoming, super friendly, and so I'd go there, practice German and everything, and then being forced to speak face to face instead of on Xbox, that really forced me to get better. And I actually ended up making a friend there, super nice, super friendly. She let me stay with her in Germany, and just somehow our friendship just developed in German. So we would
Mm.
never speak English to each other. Even when other people were around, we'd speak to them in English and then back to each other in German. Our
Wow.
our other friends didn't like that because they couldn't understand. But that really helped. So like our whole friendship was in German. So just I now have other friendships that are purely in certain languages and stuff, and like other friendships that exist only in German. Like we could speak English to each other, but it just feels weird.
Of course.
So that also helped. It really helped me to think in German, because if I think about a conversation that her and I had, it would be in German. So it really helped to keep it fresh in my mind and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much how the journey went. But I have to say, probably 80 to 90% of the German I learned was on Xbox. So if
Oh
anyone's
my
watching this and
gosh.
thinks that video games are bad, um, you can learn to speak a language fluently through playing video games. So yeah.
Wow. Because I had a guy on the last time who became a very nice Russian speaker, and he has a pretty big YouTube channel where he's just speaking to the Russian audience. And he said that he used video games, and I asked him how feasible it is, do you think, to learn languages on video games? Like, how much can you really learn? And he said, but kind of to the effect of, you know, use it as a supplement. So I wanted to ask you, how much of a language do you think you can learn by using video games? And you tell me 80%. So I think that's just freaking crazy, but awesome.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, um because I was speaking every single day and not really learning in a class, and also having fun. Fun was the most important part. Like I wasn't actually deliberately focusing on acquiring the language, so a lot of it just came naturally. So when I think about random German words and where I learned them, I actually don't know, because I just seem to just know it. Just because I would always, whenever they would speak amongst themselves, they'd only ever speak German. So I was learning a lot of grammar naturally and in context. So um, yeah, so I think that's why I was able to learn such a high amount just from the video games, just
And
because
this game
it was
was a
just
game,
natural.
yeah. And this game is a game you can speak to other people, or is it just the audio that's coming to you from the game?
So it wasn't the game itself. Like we played a couple games together, but what we would do is around that time, Microsoft released some feature where you could do Xbox Live parties. So you could have up to, I think it was 8 people in like a audio chat room. So
Oh
you
man.
could be playing different games, but you could still talk to each other. So that's what we would do. So just after school, I joined their Xbox Live party, and then we just sometimes we wouldn't even play, we just chat. But yeah, and we played a couple games together and everything, and we just chat. Obviously, I ended up learning quite a few swear words first, um, just because that's all I was hearing. Um, like when you're playing those games and stuff, tons of swear words. So
You
yeah,
said
so
you
my
learned some like random German words like kill that guy, or I don't know, like your first words are just like some random war words.
I'm not gonna lie. The very first German words that I learned were what the soldiers were yelling in Call of Duty. Um, so it's like, ich werfe eine Granate, I'm throwing a grenade, or like, gib mir Deckung, and stuff like that.
Oh my
I knew how to
God.
say those things before I could say, hi, my name is Cole. Hi, I'm learning German. But I knew how to say I'm throwing a grenade,
That's so
or
funny.
give me cover, or stuff like that, or like take out that flat gun and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, as we know, like each language has a story, each language is its own adventure.
Mhm.
Um, what for you was like the most interesting situation that caused you to learn a new language? Did anything happen to you that was interesting out of the ordinary that made you go, oh, let me learn this language? Or, something where it's right there in your lap and you took it? Or did you have anything like that? Or was it always just like, oh, Portuguese sounds nice, Italian sounds nice, oh, Russian sounds cool, I want to study that?
Mhm.
Or what would you say?